This is that time of a Tuesday morning when we usually, in fact, we always do check base with Dr. John Braccio, Regional Psychological Services. And I think today we're talking about being likable. Now, that's a big, because, I mean, you got holiday parties. You want to be liked. You don't want, you want to, in any group setting, you want to be accepted and liked. Dr. Braccio, good morning. It's nice to have you back with us.
Well, good morning, and Mike, I'll say you're a very likable fellow, so we'll start with that.
Thank you.
Well, that is really true. So, but I think most of us really desire to be a likable person. From a survivor point of view, humans have always needed to be likable to get along with each other and build relationships in order to survive emotionally and sometimes physically. This is still true whether it be a social group, a family, the military, a business, or whatever group there is that requires teamwork. Teams do not work well when the members do not see each other as likable. One can strongly argue that in order to have any short or long-term relationship, there needs to be a beginning where there is a feeling of likability between the persons. You know, one really doesn't need to be a psychologist to be aware of how far happier and successful one will be with interactions and relationships based on being likable.
Yeah.
People who are not likable, okay, we know them too, may get to accept it, but generally deep down do not like this, but too often cannot seem to figure how to make themselves more likable. In fact, they could become less likable by being upset that others do not like them and let them know about it. I mean, you know, how come you don't like me, or how come is this? It's okay, well, that's tough. Because self-esteem is closely related to how others see us, being likable is very important to how we see ourselves and something we should try to develop. The following are some traits that relate to being likable. Now, Mike, I'm not saying one needs all of these traits to be likable, but certainly one needs some of them. You know, just an easy one is a simple smile. I mean, come on, when you meet people, you know, nothing doesn't cost you anything and can make a person feel good for the whole day. Listen and pay attention when interacting. Don't be looking all over the place and not being there for them. Then authentic and not fake. Just be who you are. You know, you don't want to use some fake accent. Hey, Dave, how are you today? Someone says, well, this person's from Lansing, you know, not from good old jolly old England. And admit when you make mistakes. This is good. I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with you can't be perfect. Then you want to be tolerant and understand people. I mean, if you're going to judge everybody you meet, you're not going to have many friends by the time you're done, and you won't be very likable. Respect for others and their views. You know, if you're going to be a likable person, you got to realize everybody doesn't look at the same thing. They see things differently. Like, you know, everybody doesn't like the same kind of ice cream. You know, you're going to have whatever it might be. And then you don't want to act as a know-it-all. You know, people are really tired of chucking the know-it-all.
I hate that.
Oh, yes. Yeah, well, listen, I just read this is true, and I know it's true because I believe it's true. Oh, my goodness. And then I think remembering a person by name, this is hard for a lot of people, but if you do remember the name, I think that's good, and call them by name. Being honest, this is important. You don't want to be lying. That tends to certainly hurt friendships. A sense of humor. You want to be able to see the fun in life and just, you know, enjoy life. You want to be respectful. You want to respect people. You want to have an accepting body language. You know, you just want to let people know that, you know, you're accepting. Human touch is appropriate. It's also very nice. Hugging, touching, you know, can be a good thing. You know, and then turn off the phone, another big thing with an exclamation point. Well, you know, if you're talking, people just looking at their phone doesn't work. Making eye contact, I mean, this is a big deal. I know my dad, in his day, always said, he says, you know, John, make good eye contact and shake hands and, you know, be right there, okay? And then you want to mirror body language, too. If people looking or have a certain way, it's where you kind of mirror right with them and let them know you're accepting. So these are all things that you can do to be likable. And it's just amazing how many people don't work at these things and they really aren't likable. Okay, you know, the argumentative, and you know, it's but they're not happy people. They're really annoying people in many ways. So you do want to try to work at getting along and just being a likable and an enjoyable person to be with.
You know, and is someone who is hearing all of these points, they're going, how in the world am I going to keep remembering to do all of that? The thing is is it's don't make it into brain surgery, right?
Yes,
Just,
that's right.
boil it down to be cordial to other folks and be interested in other folks.
Yes.
And nice, and that'll cover all of this. One thing I would say though, and I understand when you're saying be respectful and tolerant and all that. Those are great words, but I want to make sure that I'm clear on this, because you don't have to give up you and your values and your point of view to hear someone else's. You can agree to disagree, but you don't have to make that into a conflict. You go, okay, well, I guess, yeah, all right, and then that's that. Because in a room, you're not gonna be likable to everybody in the room. There's just no way you're gonna do it.
Well, see, that is true. I mean, you can be likable and disagree with somebody. I mean, you can have political parties that disagree. You can have sports fans that disagree. You can think that climate change. There's so many things in the world that we can disagree on. The point is being respectful and just being likable. I mean, it's kind of a funny word, but if you like being with someone, you like if you go to lunch with them, or you have a breakfast group, or people you hang around with, you enjoy sharing ideas. You know that they're going to be listening and not attacking you. I mean, who likes somebody that if you go say, how are you? Well, what do you care? You haven't cared about anybody in your whole life. Well, I mean, that's not what you call Mr. and Mrs. Likable. Isn't that really true? The fault finder, the one who's the critic, always there noting things, and there are people like that too, that they're always fault finding. And then there are people that get mad at you if you really don't like them. Well, just because I called you an idiot and a dummy, why don't you like me? You are an idiot and a dummy. Which, I mean, how do you even respond to unreasonable people?
I don't know. And you got to understand, there are some people that you're just going to have to just kind of go, okay, well, that's somebody I don't want to be around, because they're not likable.
Well, that's true. There are people that are socially awkward. I mean, that's a separate thing. But that doesn't mean they don't have to be likable. Some people do have more charisma. They're more exciting. They're more fun. And a lot of them have really developed these skills, too.
One of my favorite things to do, I'm going to give you two things. All right, this is fun. And you can use these for free, Doc. I'm giving these to you.
Okay. Hey, I want them.
I like to, we're going to be going to some holiday parties and stuff. I like to find the people who are the wallflowers and the shy people and see if I can get them out of their shell.
Good for you.
And the way you do it is you don't force them out. You just kind of be interested in them, because a lot of times those people have never had anybody interested in them.
And they're often very deathly afraid even to go. I talked to a person today. There's a get-together they've been invited to this weekend, and he's not told his wife yet because she's very socially awkward or isn't comfortable in social settings. So he will be letting her know later. Okay, that sounds kind of like an odd thing, and she will go. I mean, but this is just a friend of mine just mentioned that. He was waiting because she's nervous if she knows too long ahead that there's going to be a get-together. So I think the wallflower and the person who's not comfortable, I think it's always good when you're with people to always be friendly, be someone who's likable, and you'll never have rejection if you're the one who always says hello. If you're the person in the corner, I'm waiting for somebody to say hello.
So here's a fun game I like to play. If you're comfortable in your skin, you got to be solid and comfortable in your skin, and then we're going to wrap up. But here's a fun game. If you're in a big group setting, like a big group setting, a wedding reception, or we went to this holiday last winter, outdoor Kindle market thing. And I said, watch this. This is fun. Find somebody across the room or like 20 yards away, 10 yards away, and you wait till you get their attention, and then just wave at them like, oh, hey, like you know them, and they're like, me? And you can't, they're too far away to actually talk to you. And they're like, me? And you're like, and you just kind of keep pointing. It's hilarious because a lot of times you end up meeting somebody, but if they're not reciprocal, then you just kind of pretend, oh, no, not you, somebody else. There was somebody else, old friend. It's fun to play.
Listen, can I tell you, and Mike, it's what makes you likable. You enjoy people, you enjoy being with them, you like to interact with them, and they like you too. So these are all important things. And
Let's
Who-
not
who
get
doesn't
crazy.
really-
They don't necessarily like me too, Doc, but you know.
Well, come
Hey,
on.
we
come
got to
on,
get
you're-
going.
Well, listen. You have a likable day, my friend, and you are likable whether you think about it or not. I'll talk to you later, then, buddy.
All right, thanks, Dr. Braccio. Dr. John Braccio, the What's Up Doc section of our little show here, Regional Psychological Services. Look them up, look them up. We're going to do this and come back with Tanya J. Powers. She has been tasked with looking into President-elect Trump's latest cabinet moves. We'll get to that. And Graham Filler later, too. 1320 WILS. It's 720 right now.